You think you know me? You don't know me! Actually, if you've been watching for a while, you might know me pretty well, actually. I don't know why I said that. I say stupid things sometimes, but yeah, you know that about me.
WheezyNews, jang, jing, badonka-donk, boom.
Hey, you don't gotta do the whole thing. Just do a little bit at a time. You don't wanna do the thing, do you? Just do a little bit today. A little bit! Right now, you got this big project you wanna do. You got the big picture in your mind, but it's complicated. There's a lot of ins and outs. Just do a little bit. That's it. You don't even have to define how much you do. Just do a tidbit. A tid. A while ago, I did a video called the 10-minute rule, where you just do a thing for 10 minutes every day. Stop at 10 minutes. And that's useful. But I would even go as far as to say, don't even put a time on it. Just a little bit. The little bit rule. Maybe there's a catchier way to say that. The tidbit edict. No. The minimum maxim. The bit dictum. No. The little bit rule is probably the easiest to understand.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
The point is, big projects, big picture stuff. The only way you can get it done, any of it, is a little bit at a time. I've started lots of big projects and gotten blocked because I start to think, what's the big picture? What am I trying to say? How's it gonna end? How's everything gonna culminate? Those are questions you can't possibly answer until you have built to them. I mean, sometimes you can possibly answer them, but I'd say in most cases, those things are made a little bit at a time. I think it's often the case with writers and directors and makers of things that the grand argument they're making, the themes, the morals, the whatever takeaways you can have from them, they probably didn't even know them when they started. That's not always true, and there's great examples where people knew the grand scheme before they began. And I, in fact, have preached that you should know your purpose because that helps get things done. And while I think that's true, I also think I'm an idiot and I don't know everything. And no one rule is true all the time. Well, like gravity so far is, no, even in the quantum realm, it's not true, is it? Things fall apart, physics. But I do think if you're racking your brain figuring out what to do next, just do a little bit. Like, write a sentence, write a word if you're writing. If you're painting a house, I mean, then just do a few swooshes. That might be a problem later if you're just gonna do patches of paint all over the house in different colors and you don't know what to paint. You should know what color you're gonna paint the house before you start. But doing a little bit at a time, focusing on just that next thing and forgetting about the big picture helps avoid things like something that I have called in a previous video, doom stacking, where you start to list off all the reasons the thing is bad or is going wrong, or all the things in your life that are bad and going wrong and keeping you from making things. But the truth is, all of those things are not happening all together at once. Sometimes it might feel that way. Sometimes some of them might happen at the same time. I'm sick. I woke up late. My computer crashed. I got bad gas. Doing things a little bit at a time can help you get over a creative block if you don't know what's going to happen next. You know, you can try a different path, but only a little bit. What's the harm? This doesn't just apply to making stuff. This is also learning stuff or just doing regular household chores. You know, stuff. There's a great TEDx talk from Stephen Dunier all about this. He learned German just a little bit at a time. He learned how to knit and crochet just a little bit at a time. And then he became the world record holder of the largest granny square, I believe.
So for the next 82 days, no matter where I was knitting. One stitch at a time.
The point is, get over yourself, get out of your big picture head, and just do a little bit. I'm so forceful about this because it's so easy to fall into the mentality of, oh, I'm going to do a thing, I better see it to completion. There are certain things you should see to completion that you start. It might just be rude to the other party if you don't. We're not talking about that. It's so easy to overvalue the importance of the work you're doing. Like, oh, I'm gonna edit this video. The next thing I make it's gotta be well thought out. I'm gonna finish this whole section because I'm starting this section. You don't gotta. Just slap some footage on there, dingus. I'm using video making and writing as my example a lot because that's what I do. And I'm mainly talking to myself here. All this advice I'm trying to bestow upon you is advice I'm trying to bestow upon myself because I keep forgetting. I'm in the middle of a documentary about Japanese Green Bay Packer fans. I have edited together an hour and 20 minutes. A little bit at a time. I said to myself, I'm going to add 2 minutes to the timeline every day starting in January. Now I'm at an hour and 20 minute rough cut. But now I'm going back to make it better, and that's even harder to do. And I was getting all up in my head about like, oh, it's got to be great. How do I do this? And I haven't been working on it. I've been putting it off because in my brain, I'm like, oh, when I go back to edit this rough cut and make it good, the whole thing's got to be perfect when I'm done today. But it doesn't. I can just go in, little tweaks here, little tweak there, just a little bit at a time. You hear that, Craig? A little bit at a time. Thank you for watching. Just do a little bit at a time. I feel like I said that enough times, but definitely not a little bit of times. Anyway, that's it. I also have a newsletter version of this video that I put out on Tuesday. I do a newsletter every Tuesday for Tu's Better Newsletter, and that's linked down below. And there's a podcast version of this linked down below. And I have a podcast with my friend Greg Benson called Two Guys Talking About Lettuce. And I'm reading the book Children of Time. It's a really good sci-fi. It's the first of a series. I'm enjoying that too. And I gotta stop saying "and" because then I have to say another thing. I'm getting over a sickness. Haven't been working out a lot. I'm gonna try to get back to that. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. I want to get back to working out, but I've been sick. My daughter keeps going to school and she keeps picking up sicknesses and bringing them home. And I'm getting them all. I'm getting them all. And I don't like it very much, guys. But hey, we're going to make it through. Thanks.